There's this idea we've been dancing around for a couple sections here, and it's just this connection between zeros, solutions, and factors. And this chapter, this section really hits this concept pretty hard. Basically, these are all pretty similar concepts, but they're all just a little bit different, and you do want to understand the difference. And here's I'm just going to spell it out as best I can. Let's say we have an equation like this, and we're asked to solve this equation. What we've done to solve equations like this is we've factored these things, broken it into factors. And then we've taken those factors and set those factors equal to 0. And whatever those answers end up being, those are considered the solutions to this original equation. So the connection between solutions and zeros is relatively clear, I hope. If you have an equation where one side is equal to 0, and you solve that equation, like we did down here, these values are the solution to this equation. Those values are also the zeros of this function. And the difference is just kind of like what's happening with the equal sign. When we have an actual expression equal to a number and we solve it, we found a solution. We found a solution. If I have an expression that has y values and x values, those same numbers become zeros because they make this function equal 0. And of course we use the factors to find those things, and so that's where the factors come into play as well. So they're all kind of connected. Just the difference is solutions are for situations where we just have the one variable and we want to solve it. Zeros are for when we have a function with x's and y's and we want to find out specifically which x values make the y value 0. And the way we find these things always is once one side equals 0, we factor this thing out and then we set each factor equal to 0 to solve it. Now the other thing I do want to point out is, like, if you know a specific factor, like let's say we know that the factor is, just to pick a different example, x plus 7. Then a 0 of that factor is negative 7, right? If the factor is x minus 18, the 0 is positive 18. So there's this weirdness where, like, you kind of switch the numbers up because you're trying to find the number that makes the expression 0 to either solve an equation or find the 0 of a function. But we can use factors to find functions that do specific things, and we can, factor functions to find the zeros. So there's all this interplay between them that we're going to see coming up in the next section. But that's the connection that we've been talking about, and we'll be doing with higher powered polynomials. Synthetic division is going to come into play, and all these other things we've been talking about. You're going to see how they all kind of gel together. So it should be pretty interesting. It's going to definitely bend your brain a little bit, which is good.